Take a slow breath in and gently let it go. Allow your shoulders to soften, your jaw to unclench, your eyelids to grow just a little heavier. There is nowhere you need to be right now, nothing you need to solve, nothing you need to carry. Only this quiet moment. Imagine the air around you growing warmer, calmer, like the last glow of evening sunlight resting on old stone walls. A gentle breeze moves through distant trees. Leaves rustle softly. Somewhere far away, a wooden door closes with a muted hush. And with every breath, your body sinks deeper, looser, lighter. Feel the surface beneath you supporting you completely, safe, still, at peace. Now, as your thoughts begin to slow like drifting clouds, our story today begins in a quiet valley hidden between rolling green hills where time itself seems to walk more slowly. It begins at an old stone abbey. An abbey built centuries ago, its walls thick and cool, its windows tall and narrow, catching only the softest light of dawn and dusk. The world outside is fading into twilight, lavender skies, golden horizons, bells ringing gently in the distance. Inside the abbey, candles glow like tiny stars, small flames, steady, unhurried. Their light flickers across wooden desks, worn smooth by generations of careful hands. The air smells faintly of parchment, beeswax and old cedarwood. Warm, comforting, familiar. Down a long corridor, lined with shelves of ancient books, there walks a monk. Slow steps, soft sandals brushing stone. Tap, pause, tap. His robe moves like water round him. Simple brown cloth, flowing quietly with each step. He carries nothing but a small lantern. Its light sways gently, back and forth, like breathing, like sleep. This monk has lived here many years, long enough to know every creak of the floor, every whisper of wind through the arches, long enough that silence feels like an old friend. He reaches a wooden door, pushes it open slowly. The hinges sigh, not loudly, just a soft wooden murmur. Inside is the scriptorium, a room devoted to patience, to stillness, to art that takes months, sometimes years. Tall candles burn in iron holders, their flames steady and golden. On a large oak table rests parchment, smooth and pale, brushes, small knives, bowls of pigment, and a tiny dish filled with powdered gold, real gold, ground into the finest dust. It catches the candlelight and glows like morning sun on water. The monk sits slowly, carefully. The wooden chair creaks just a little. He exhales a long, quiet breath, and for a moment, nothing moves at all. Only the fire in the hearth, crackling softly, tick, snap, whisper, the kind of sound that wraps around you like a blanket. He opens a manuscript. The pages turn with a delicate hush. Thick parchment, heavy, comforting. Each page filled with neat ink letters, handwritten one by one. Every line crafted with care, every space intentional. There is no hurry here, no rush, only steady time. The monk dips a thin brush into the gold powder, mixes it with a drop of water. Slow circles, round and round and round, until it becomes liquid sunlight. He lifts the brush and begins soft strokes, painting the first letter of the page. A curved line, smooth, unbroken. The gold glides across the parchment, catching the candlelight, shimmering gently, like stars reflected on a quiet lake. Brush, pause, brush, each movement slow enough to follow with your breath. In, stroke, out, stroke. Your mind begins to match the rhythm, your body growing heavier, warmer, safer, the world shrinking down to this small glowing room. This monk, This soft brushing sound and the peaceful turning of pages. Nothing else matters now. Only the calm, only the gentle gold light, only the steady crackle of the hearth. And as the monk continues painting, patiently, lovingly, you may notice your thoughts drifting, like leaves floating down a quiet stream. No need to catch them, just let them pass, and stay here in the warm candlelight, beside the monk who paints with gold. Stay just as you are, comfortable, supported. Take another slow breath in, and let it drift out like a quiet sigh. Feel the stillness growing deeper now, as though the night itself has wrapped a soft cloak around your shoulders, and the world has become smaller, gentler. Only this room remains, only this warm golden light, only the slow, steady presence of the monk at his desk. The fire beside him settles into glowing embers, a soft red shimmer, breathing in, breathing out. Just like you, the abbey walls hold the warmth of the day, stone that has watched centuries pass, stone that remembers prayers, whispers, footsteps, and time outside the narrow windows. The wind moves through tall grass, a slow hush like distant ocean waves. Shh, shh. The sound rises, then falls, rises, then falls, a natural rhythm, the same rhythm your breathing has found. The monk adjusts the candle closer. The flame bends gently, wax melting down the sides in slow, sleepy trails. Drip, pause, drip. Time feels different here, not counted in minutes, not measured by clocks, but by strokes of a brush, by pages turned, by breaths taken. He leans forward slightly, his sleeves brushing the desk with the softest rustle. The parchment waits, blank spaces left for gold leaf designs, tiny vines, stars, halos of light around sacred letters. He lifts the brush again, dips, stirs. The gold mixture swirls like liquid sunrise, thick, glowing, warm. Carefully, he paints the edge of a letter, a slow curve, then another, then a tiny dot of light, each mark deliberate, unhurried, like footsteps through fresh snow. Nothing rushed, nothing forced, just gentle progress. You can almost hear it, that faint whisper of bristles across parchment. Shh, shh. Soft enough that your mind begins to float with it, like being rocked in a small wooden boat on calm water. Back and forth, back and forth. Your thoughts begin stretching out, longer, slower, like honey pouring from a jar. There is no need to think quickly anymore. Everything moves at the speed of comfort. The monk pauses, flexes his fingers. Old hands, steady hands, hands that have done this work thousands of times. There is something soothing about repetition, about doing one small thing with care, again and again and again. It quiets the mind, just as this moment is quieting yours. He reaches for the manuscript and turns the page. Shh. The sound lingers in the air, like silk sliding over silk. The new page reveals faint pencil lines, guides for the lettering. He begins tracing them slowly with ink first. Dark lines appearing one by one. Tall letters, graceful shapes, each one standing like a tiny doorway, leading somewhere peaceful. The candlelight flickers across the wet ink, making it shine like midnight water. Then he waits. Because patience is part of the art, ink must dry, gold must settle, nothing can be hurried. And so he simply sits, listening, to the fire, to the wind, to the quiet creak of the old wooden beams overhead. Even the silence has texture here, soft, thick, comforting. The kind of silence you might find deep in a forest after snowfall, where every sound is wrapped in cotton. And while he waits, he closes his eyes for a moment, breathing slowly, calmly, just like you are now. Perhaps you notice how heavy your arms feel, how relaxed your legs have become, as if gravity itself has grown stronger, gently pulling you down into rest. Your forehead smooth, your jaw loose, your thoughts drifting like candle smoke, upward, then disappearing. There is nothing you need to hold on to. Just the warm glow, just the monk, just the steady peace of this ancient room. After a while, he opens his eyes again. Satisfied, the ink is dry. He takes a tiny square of gold leaf now, so thin it almost floats. Delicate as breath, he places it carefully onto the painted letter and presses gently with a soft cloth. Tap, press, lift. When the extra flakes fall away, the letter gleams brilliantly, brighter than the candle, brighter than the fire, like captured sunlight resting on the page. A small miracle of light, born from patience, born from stillness. And as the golden letter shines, the room seems warmer, softer, sleepier, like the whole world is preparing to rest, and you may feel it too. That gentle pull toward dreams, like sinking into deep water that somehow holds you safely, like drifting into clouds, like floating, weightless, peaceful. The monk continues, letter by letter, stroke by stroke, each movement slower than the last, until the rhythm becomes almost like a lullaby. Brush, breath, turn the page. Breath, fire crackle, breath, gold shining softly in the dark. And you remain here beside him, wrapped in candlelight, wrapped in calm, wrapped in quiet. As the night grows deeper, and deeper, and deeper, let yourself sink a little deeper now, as though the mattress beneath you has turned to soft sand. Warm, supportive, perfectly shaped to you. Take one slow breath in through your nose, and release it gently through your mouth. Long, slow, easy. Good. The abbey is quieter now, even quieter than before. That special kind of silence that only arrives late at night, when the world feels tucked in, when everything living has softened its voice. The candles burn lower, their flames smaller, rounder, steadier. Little pools of gold light resting on the wooden desks, shadows stretch lazily along the stone walls, long and slow, like sleepy cats curling up by the fire. The monk remains seated, back straight, movements unhurried, calm in a way that only comes from years of practice. Years of waking before dawn, years of slow prayers, years of careful brushstrokes. His presence fills the room with quiet comfort. Like an old tree, strong, still, patient. He reaches for another tool, a tiny mortar and pestle. Stone against stone, he places a few flakes of gold inside and begins to grind. Slow circles. Grrr, shh, grrr, shh. A soft, sandy sound. Repetitive, rhythmic, almost like distant rain on a window. Round and round, round and round. The gold becomes finer, softer, like glowing dust catching the candlelight each time it moves, sparkling gently, like stars turning in the night sky. If you listen closely, you can almost match the motion to your breathing. In, circle, out, circle, in, circle. Out, there is no rush, there never has been, tomorrow will come when it comes. The work will continue when it continues. For now, there is only this simple moment, this steady sound, this peaceful repetition. He adds a drop of water, then a little honey, a secret recipe passed down through generations, to help the gold cling to parchment, to help it shine for centuries. The mixture thickens, slow and luminous, like melted sunlight. He tests it with the tip of his brush. Satisfied, then returns to the manuscript. Outside, the wind has grown softer. The leaves barely whisper now, just the faintest rustle, like fabric brushing fabric. Somewhere far in the distance, an owl calls once, low, gentle, then silence again, not lonely silence, but safe silence. The kind that tells you everything is resting, everything is exactly where it should be. The monk bends closer to the page. The candlelight warms his hands. He begins painting tiny decorations, little vines curling around letters, small golden stars between words, delicate patterns that almost seem to breathe. Each detail slow, careful, loving. It is not just writing, it is meditation. Each stroke a prayer, each dot a moment of gratitude, each finished letter a quiet offering. And without noticing, your mind begins to copy that feeling, that patience, that ease. Thoughts that once felt busy begin slowing down, like footsteps fading down a long hallway, further and further and further away. Until they disappear completely, your body feels heavier now. Warm, comfortable, safe, as if wrapped in a thick wool blanket near the fire. You might notice your eyelids fluttering slightly, that soft drifting feeling, right on the edge of sleep, where images come and go like clouds, where sounds blur into dreams. The monk pauses again. Listening, the abbey timbers creak gently as the night air cools. Old wood settling tick-tock, tiny sounds. Like the building itself breathing, he smiles faintly, because he has heard these sounds his whole life. They are familiar, comforting, like an old lullaby. He reaches out and turns another page. Slow, unfolding, the sound seems to stretch forever, like silk sliding across a table. On this page, there is a large empty space, reserved for something special, a grand letter, the beginning of a chapter. He dips the brush once more, carefully, steadily, then paints the first long line, smooth, unbroken, glowing softly. The gold catches the firelight and almost seems alive, as if the letter is breathing, radiating warmth, light spreading across the page, gentle, golden, peaceful. And as you watch, as you listen, as you drift, it feels like that golden light is spreading to you too, across your chest, your shoulders, your arms, like warm sunlight on a quiet afternoon, relaxing every muscle, every nerve, every thought. You are safe here, beside the monk, beside the fire, beside the slow-turning pages. Nothing can disturb this calm. Nothing needs your attention. Only rest, only warmth, only the soft glow of gold in the darkness, and the steady rhythm of brush. Breath, brush, breath guiding you gently, closer and closer to sleep. Let the story keep holding you. There's nothing you need to do, nothing you need to follow too closely. Just drift with the sound of the words, like floating on calm water, carried gently, effortlessly, breathing slow, easy, soft. The golden letter on the page begins to take shape, tall and graceful, its lines curling like vines climbing an old stone wall. The monk steadies his wrist, careful not to hurry, because gold, like sleep, cannot be rushed. It only settles when everything is calm. The brush moves, slow, steady, whispering across parchment. Shh, shh, a sound so quiet, it almost feels like it exists inside your own mind. The candle beside him flickers once, then steadies, wax pooling down the sides like melted butter, warm light spreading across the desk. The air smells faintly sweet, beeswax, old paper, wood smoke, comforting scents, the kind that make your body relax without even noticing, the kind that remind you of safety, of shelter, of home. The monk lifts the page slightly, blowing gently, a soft breath to dry the gold. You can almost feel that breath too, cool and light, like a breeze through an open window, like fresh night air drifting across your skin. Outside, The sky has deepened into midnight blue, stars scattered quietly above the abbey. Still, patient, watchful, clouds pass slowly, so slowly it's hard to see them move at all. Time feels stretched, softened, like everything has decided to slow down together inside the hearth. A small log shifts, perk, then settles. Tiny sparks glow and fade. The fire isn't loud, just a gentle murmur, like someone whispering a bedtime story in the next room. Warmth spreads through the stone floor, through the wooden desk, through the monk's hands, through you, a deep, comforting warmth, the kind that makes your limbs heavy, pleasantly heavy, like sinking deeper into blankets. The monk places the finished page aside. Let the story keep holding you. There's nothing you need to do, nothing you need to follow too closely. Just drift with the sound of the words, like floating on calm water, carried gently, effortlessly, breathing slow, easy, soft. The golden letter on the page begins to take shape, tall and graceful, its lines curling like vines climbing an old stone wall. The monk steadies his wrist, careful not to hurry, because gold, like sleep, cannot be rushed. It only settles when everything is calm. The brush moves, slow, steady, whispering across parchment. Shh, shh, a sound so quiet. It almost feels like it exists inside your own mind. The candle beside him flickers once, then steadies, wax pooling down the sides like melted butter, warm light spreading across the desk. The air smells faintly sweet. Beeswax, old paper, wood smoke, comforting scents. The kind that make your body relax without even noticing. The kind that remind you of safety, of shelter, of home. The monk lifts the page slightly, blowing gently. A soft breath to dry the gold. You can almost feel that breath too, cool and light, like a breeze through an open window, like fresh night air drifting across your skin. Outside, the sky has deepened into midnight blue, stars scattered quietly above the abbey. Still, patient, watchful, clouds pass slowly, so slowly it's hard to see them move at all. Time feels stretched, softened, like everything has decided to slow down together inside the hearth. A small log shifts, perk, then settles. Tiny sparks glow and fade. The fire isn't loud, just a gentle murmur, like someone whispering a bedtime story in the next room. Warmth spreads through the stone floor, through the wooden desk, through the monk's hands, through you, a deep, comforting warmth, the kind that makes your limbs heavy, pleasantly heavy, like sinking deeper into blankets. The monk places the finished page aside, books resting quietly on their shelves, everything calm, everything wrapped in night. The monk pauses, rolling his shoulders gently, stretching his neck, then folding his hands for a moment, eyes closed. A silent prayer, not spoken aloud, just felt. Gratitude for the quiet, for the work, for this simple life of slow moments. And somehow, that feeling spreads to you too. A small sense of gratitude. For this bed, for this breath, for this peaceful story, for the chance to simply rest. Nothing else required, nothing else expected. Just this gentle drifting, this warm darkness, this soft golden glow. He opens his eyes, returns to the page, and continues, stroke by stroke, letter by letter, brush by brush, everything moving slower now, as if the whole world is yawning, stretching, preparing to sleep. And you drift with it, floating, sinking, wrapped in candlelight, wrapped in quiet, wrapped in the steady rhythm of the monk who paints with gold. Just stay here, soft, heavy, peaceful. Let your tongue rest gently in your mouth. Let your shoulders sink a little deeper. If there is any small tension left anywhere, around your eyes, your neck, your hands, let it melt now like wax near a candle flame. Slowly, easily, gone. The night inside the abbey has grown thick and velvety, like dark blue silk draped over the world. The last sounds of the day have long faded. No birds, no footsteps, no voices, only the quiet breathing of the building itself, and the steady, comforting presence of the monk, still seated at his desk, still working by candlelight, still moving with the same gentle care, as though time means nothing here, as though each moment is enough on its own. He reaches for a small linen cloth, soft with age, edges worn smooth, and he polishes one of the golden letters. Slow, circular motions, round and round and round. The gold begins to glow brighter, reflecting the candle flame like a tiny sun. Warm and steady, not sharp, not bright, just soft light, the kind you could stare at forever without effort, the kind that makes your eyelids feel heavier. He turns the manuscript slightly, examining it from different angles, watching how the gold catches the light, watching it shimmer like sunlight dancing on river water. Tiny ripples of brightness, shifting, glowing, fading, returning. There is something hypnotic about it, this gentle shine, back and forth, like breathing, like the slow swing of a lantern, like a cradle rocking. And without even trying, your thoughts begin to sway with it, side to side, drifting, loosening, as though each thought has become too sleepy to stay, too heavy to hold shape. They simply dissolve, like mist in morning air. The monk sets down the cloth and opens a small wooden box. Inside are tiny pigments, crushed minerals, ground plants, soft blues, warm reds, earthy greens, natural colors from the earth itself. He selects a muted blue, the color of twilight sky, mixes it with water, stirs slowly. The brush makes faint tapping sounds against the bowl. Tick, 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 gentle, measured, so quiet you almost feel it more than hear it. Then he paints small borders around the page, thin lines, simple shapes, nothing elaborate, just enough to frame the gold, just enough to guide the eye gently inward, like a path through a garden. Calm, orderly, peaceful, the scent of the pigments rises faintly, mineral, cool, clean, mixing with the warm beeswax and the smoky air from the hearth, all blending into one comforting fragrance, the scent of quiet work, of safety, of long nights spent in stillness. If you imagine it deeply, you might feel like you're there, sitting across from him, at another desk, watching the slow movements, hearing the brush, feeling the warmth of the fire on your skin. Your body wrapped in a simple wool blanket, feet resting on cool stone, breathing slow. Matching the rhythm of the room, the monk hums softly to himself now. Barely a melody, just a low tone. Gentle, continuous, like distant wind through trees, like air passing through hollow bamboo. It isn't a song you recognize. It doesn't need to be. It's just sound, soft, steady, comforting, a vibration that seems to smooth the edges of the world. And your mind begins to smooth too. Edges softening, corners rounding, everything becoming gentle, nothing sharp, nothing urgent, nothing demanding. Only rest, only warmth, only this quiet golden room. He finishes the border, blows lightly to dry the paint, then leans back in his chair, stretching his hands, fingers opening and closing slowly. After so many careful movements, even stretching feels slow, deliberate. Like everything else here, he looks around the scriptorium, at the shelves of old manuscripts, at the candles burning low, at the fire reduced to glowing embers. Everything bathed in soft amber light. Everything peaceful, everything still. And he smiles faintly, because this silence, this simple work, this warm night is enough, completely enough, and somehow that feeling reaches you too, a quiet sense that nothing else is needed right now. No plans, no worries, no unfinished thoughts, just this moment, this breath, this soft drifting. Your body heavier now, almost floating and sinking at the same time, like resting on calm water, supported completely, safe completely, sleep drawing closer. Like a soft blanket being pulled gently over you, the monk returns to his work once more. Brush in hand, gold shimmering faintly, the slow scratch of pen, the quiet crackle of fire, the hush of turning pages, all blending together into a lullaby made of tiny sounds, and you remain here beside him, wrapped in candlelight, wrapped in stillness, following the rhythm, deeper, slower, softer, closer and closer, to dreams. Let your breathing stay slow now, soft and easy, like gentle waves touching the shore. Nothing forced, nothing hurried, just the natural rise and fall, rise and fall. If your eyes are closed, let them stay closed. If they're half open, let them drift shut whenever they wish. There's nothing to watch anymore. Only the feeling, only the calm. Only the quiet story wrapping around you like a blanket. The night deepens further. That deep hour when even time seems asleep, when the air itself feels thicker, warmer, slower. The abbey corridors rest in darkness. Long hallways lined with stone arches. Moonlight slipping through narrow windows, painting pale silver shapes on the floor. Everything still, everything resting, like the whole world has exhaled and decided not to breathe in too quickly. Back in the scriptorium, the monk's candle has grown shorter, wax pooled at the base, the flames smaller now, but steadier, a tiny golden heart beating in the dark. He adjusts it gently, shielding it with his hand, careful, always careful. Even the smallest flame deserves patience. He trims the wick, and the light grows soft and round again. Not bright, just warm, like twilight caught in glass. His shadow moves slowly across the wall behind him, long and flowing, stretching and shrinking with each tiny motion, like another monk made of smoke and light. Working quietly beside him, the fire has settled into embers now, a bed of glowing red, breathing faint heat into the room. Occasionally, a soft crackle, a tiny spark, then stillness again. You might imagine sitting closer to that warmth, hands extended, feeling the gentle heat on your skin, comfort spreading up your arms, across your chest, through your whole body, like sinking into a warm bath or lying under sunlight on a quiet afternoon. Your muscles loosening, melting. The monk lifts another finished page, holding it carefully at the corners. He studies it under the candlelight. The gold letters shimmer softly, not loud or flashy, just a humble glow, like stars seen through morning mist. He nods once, satisfied, then places it gently onto a growing stack, pages upon pages, days upon days of work, each one made slowly, without pressure, without noise, without hurry. A life measured not by speed, but by care. There's something deeply soothing about that, the idea that nothing needs rushing, that everything has time, even you, even your thoughts, even your rest. Nothing chasing you, nothing pulling you forward, just this slow, floating moment. He dips his brush again, but this time, his movements grow even slower, sleepier, the late hour softening even him, his shoulders relaxed, his breathing deeper, the quiet work becoming almost dreamlike. brush touching parchment, lift, touch, lift, like someone tracing shapes in sand beside the ocean. Simple, repetitive, peaceful. The sounds blur together now, the scratch of pen, the whisper of brush, the faint hum of the wind outside, the low crackle of embers, all blending into one soft, steady hush, a sound like shh, like the whole world gently telling you, rest now, sleep now, it's safe. So safe, your body feels heavy and warm, as though gravity has doubled, pulling you down softly into comfort. Your hands loose, your legs still, even your thoughts barely moving, like snowflakes drifting downward, slow, silent, disappearing the moment they land. The monk pauses, listening to the quiet. He closes his eyes just for a moment, head bowed slightly, as if even he might drift off sitting there. Just a brief rest, just a small breath. Then another, long, slow, peaceful. And you might notice your breathing matching his again. In, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, in, 2, 3, out. Everything synchronized, everything calm. He opens his eyes, smiles softly, then continues one last golden detail. A tiny star in the corner of the page, just a dot of light. Small, simple, but shining beautifully. A reminder that even the smallest light can warm the darkness, just like this quiet moment warms you. Just like this story carries you gently. Like being rocked in a cradle, like floating on clouds, like drifting deeper and deeper into sleep. The monk finishes the star, sets down the brush, and simply sits there, in silence, watching the candle glow, watching the gold shimmer, listening to the night breathe around him. And you sit with him, wrapped in stillness, wrapped in warmth, wrapped in peace, so close now to dreams, so light, so heavy, so calm, as the golden letters glow softly, and the quiet abbey holds you both. Like a safe and endless night, let yourself drift even further now, further than before, as though the bed beneath you has become a soft cloud, holding you, floating you, rocking you gently. There is nothing to hold on to, nothing to think about, only the sound of my voice, slow, warm, steady, like the glow of candlelight behind closed eyes. Take one more slow breath, in and out. Good. The abbey feels older at this hour, older and kinder, like an ancient guardian watching over everything inside. Stone walls breathing out the warmth they gathered during the day, wooden beams resting after centuries of holding the roof above. Every surface calm, every corner wrapped in shadow and gold light. The monk remains at his desk, but now his movements are softer still, almost dreamlike, as though he, too, is half asleep, working not with effort, but with memory, hands knowing what to do without thinking. The brush glides. Shh. Pause. The page turns. Shh. The fire murmurs. Tick, croak, small sounds, tiny sounds, each one like a pebble dropping into still water, gentle ripples spreading outward, then fading until nothing remains but quiet again. He reaches for a fresh candle, rolling it slowly between his fingers. Smooth beeswax, slightly warm. He lights it from the old flame, and for a moment, two lights glow side by side, twin stars, soft and golden, the new flame steadier, brighter, but still gentle, never harsh, never sharp, just enough to keep the darkness friendly, comfortable, safe. The old candle is blown out. A thin ribbon of smoke rising, curling lazily into the air. You can almost smell it, that faint sweetness of warm wax and smoke. Like the memory of a campfire long ago, like something familiar from childhood. something that makes you feel protected, held. The monk sets the new candle down, and the light dances slowly across the manuscript pages. Gold letters flickering, alive, as though tiny suns have been captured inside the parchment. They glow with quiet pride, not asking to be admired, simply existing, simply shining, the way stars shine. Even when no one looks up, he brushes loose flakes of gold into a small jar. Soft taps of the brush. Tick, tick, tick. Nothing wasted. Everything saved carefully. Even the smallest speck of light matters. Even the tiniest shimmer. And maybe that reminds you that even the smallest moment of rest matters too. Even this moment, even this breath, even the simple act of lying here, listening, drifting, it all counts. It all heals you quietly, without effort, without noise. Outside, clouds pass slowly over the moon, softening the silver light. The window grows darker, then lighter, then darker again, like the sky itself is breathing. In, out, in, out. The same rhythm, the same gentle pulse. The monk leans back, stretching his neck slightly. The chair creaks in a slow, sleepy way, wood settling. Time settling, everything settling. He folds his hands for a moment in his lap, palms warm, eyes half closed, simply resting, simply being, not working, not thinking, just existing in the warm hush of the room. And you can join him there, in that same stillness. That same gentle pause, nothing to fix, nothing to chase, nothing to remember. Just breathing, just floating, just resting. Your thoughts now like feathers, light, weightless, barely there, drifting off one by one, until your mind feels wide and open, like a quiet sky before dawn. The monk returns to the manuscript one last time, adding a few final touches, tiny dots of gold, small stars between sentences, little sparks of light, simple, repetitive, careful, each dot like a soft bell, ding, ding, ding. Not loud, just delicate, like distant chimes in the wind, sleepy sounds, dreamy sounds, the kind that pull you gently downward, into deeper rest, into warmer darkness, into that peaceful place between waking and dreaming, where everything feels soft, where everything feels safe. He finishes the page, blows gently, sets the brush aside, and closes the manuscript slowly, the cover meeting the pages with a quiet thump. Solid, complete, done for tonight, the work can wait. Morning will come when it comes, but now it is time for rest, time for stillness, time for sleep. The monk sits quietly by the candlelight, watching the small flame sway, back and forth, like a cradle, like your breath, like your drifting mind. And you remain here beside him, wrapped in the glow, wrapped in the silence, feeling heavier, softer, sleepier, carried gently toward dreams. Let everything slow even more now, slower than before, as if the whole world has softened its edges, as if time itself has decided to whisper. Instead of speak, feel the weight of your body, how naturally it sinks, how easily it rests. No effort, no holding, just surrender, like a leaf settling on still water. Floating, drifting, safe. The candlelight in the scriptorium glows low and steady, a small circle of warmth in a sea of quiet shadows. The monk no longer writes, no longer paints. His tools rest neatly beside him. Brush cleaned, ink covered, gold sealed carefully away, everything in its place. Everything ready for tomorrow, but tomorrow feels very far away now, far beyond the hills, beyond the stars, beyond thought itself. Right now, there is only this gentle night. He places both palms flat on the wooden desk, feeling the grain beneath his fingertips, smooth grooves worn by decades of use, tiny imperfections, small ridges, each one familiar, like the lines of his own hands. He traces the wood slowly, back and forth, not thinking, just feeling, just breathing. The fire has faded into a soft orange glow, no flames now, only embers, like sleeping stars in a dark sky. Occasionally, a faint crackle, a tiny sigh of warmth, then stillness again. The air has cooled slightly, fresh, clean, carrying the faint scent of night grass through the open slit of the window. You might imagine that cool air touching your face, soft as silk, brushing your skin gently, refreshing, comforting, like the first breath after rain. The monk stands slowly, chair legs whispering against stone. He stretches, arms rising overhead, sleeves falling back, a long, quiet inhale. Then a slow exhale, as though even his body is preparing for sleep. He walks across the room, each step soft, sandals brushing the floor, shuff, pause, shuff, unhurried, unforced. The sound echoes gently off the stone walls, then fades. He checks the windows, pulls the wooden shutters halfway closed. Moonlight narrows into thin silver lines, dust motes drifting lazily through the beams, like tiny stars floating in water. Everything looks slower in this light, dreamlike, unreal, peaceful. Your mind begins to feel the same way, dreamlike. Edges blurred, thoughts melting into soft shapes. Nothing sharp, nothing loud. Just a gentle haze, the kind that comes right before sleep takes you. The monk returns to the desk one last time, looking at the stack of finished pages. He places his hand on top of them, as though blessing them, as though thanking them for the quiet hours they shared together. Then he covers them with a linen cloth, protecting the gold from dust, from time, from the world. Tenderly, carefully, like tucking a child into bed, the gesture is so soft, so slow, that even watching it makes your heart beat calmer, slower, steadier. He blows out another candle. Darkness grows. Only one flame remains now, small, golden, swaying gently, like a tiny boat on calm water. Back and forth, you might picture that flame behind your closed eyes, a warm glow in the darkness, floating, dancing slowly, each sway pulling you deeper, each flicker heavier on your eyelids, your breathing quiet now, barely noticeable, so soft, so easy, as though sleep is already halfway there, already wrapping around you. The monk finally sits on a simple wooden bench near the wall, hands folded loosely in his lap, head bowed slightly, just resting, not thinking, not planning, simply being still, listening to the quiet, feeling the warmth, letting the night hold him. And you sit there too, beside him, in that same stillness, in that same gentle silence. Nothing to do, nothing to become, nowhere else to go. Only this peaceful room, this warm glow, this ancient abbey breathing slowly around you, like the whole building is humming a lullaby. Low, soft, endless, and as the last candle flickers, and the shadows grow thicker, and the quiet grows deeper, you feel yourself drifting, further, softer, heavier, like sinking into warm water, like floating into clouds, like being carried somewhere safe and gentle, where dreams begin, and thoughts fade, and rest comes naturally, effortlessly, like it was always waiting for you. Breathe slowly now, so slow you almost can't feel it, like a feather moving in the dark, in and out, soft, quiet, easy. Let your body feel heavy, as though you are sinking just a little deeper into the bed. Supported completely, held completely, safe. There is nowhere else to be. Only here, only this warm, drifting story. The last candle in the scriptorium burns low, its flame small and rounded. Glowing like a tiny golden pearl, the light barely reaches the corners now, shadows resting thick against the stone walls. But it isn't a dark that feels empty. It's a dark that feels full, full of rest, full of comfort, full of quiet dreams waiting patiently. The monk sits very still on the wooden bench, hands resting loosely together, head slightly bowed, eyes half closed. He is not asleep, not awake either, just floating in that peaceful space between, where thoughts slow down, where the heart beats gently, where time feels soft and endless. The kind of stillness you only find late at night, when even the earth seems to pause. The air around him barely moves, warm near the embers, cool near the window, layers of temperature brushing softly against his skin, like invisible blankets. Outside, the wind has completely settled, the trees stand motionless, leaves resting, branches still. Even the owls have gone quiet, as though the whole valley is sleeping together. One long, shared breath. You might feel that too, that sense of being part of something larger, something calm, like the entire world is resting at the same time as you. The same slow rhythm, the same gentle surrender. After a long moment, the monk rises again, slowly, carefully, so quietly the floor barely makes a sound. He moves toward the hearth, kneeling beside the glowing embers, using a small iron tool to spread them safely. Tiny sparks glow brighter for a second, then fade. Like fireflies disappearing into the dark, he places a clay cover over the hearth, keeping the warmth inside, protecting the last heat of the night. Even this task is done gently, nothing abrupt, nothing loud. Just care, always care, because in this place, everything is treated softly, like something precious, like something that deserves peace. And maybe you feel that too, that you deserve this peace, this rest, this gentle quiet. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to work for it. It's already yours, just by being here, just by breathing. The monk walks back to the desk one last time, running his fingers over the smooth wood. A small goodbye for the night. Then he takes the final candle, holding it in both hands, watching the flame dance, back and forth, back and forth, so slow, so hypnotic. Your mind follows it easily, like watching waves roll onto shore, or clouds drift across the sky, each movement slower than the last, each flicker softer, your eyelids heavier now. Thoughts dissolving before they even form. He blows gently. The flame bends, shrinks, then disappears, a thin ribbon of smoke curling upward, twisting lazily, then gone. Darkness fills the room completely. But it's not frightening, not empty. It's warm darkness, soft darkness, like being wrapped in thick velvet, like being tucked beneath blankets on a cold night. Safe, hidden, resting. The only light now is the moon slipping through the narrow window, painting pale silver shapes on the floor. Quiet, dreamlike. The monk moves through the room by memory. He knows every step, every corner, every stone. He has walked this path thousands of nights before. His sandals whisper softly, shuff, pause, shuff. Then even those sounds fade as he leaves the scriptorium. The wooden door closes slowly behind him. A gentle thum, barely more than a breath, and now the room is empty, still. Silent, pages resting beneath linen, gold sleeping quietly in the dark, tools waiting patiently for morning. Everything calm, everything complete, and you remain here, floating in that same darkness, that same warmth, that same peaceful hush. Nothing left to follow, nothing left to imagine, only softness, only heaviness, only sleep drawing closer, like a lullaby fading into silence, like the last light of a candle gently going out, your body heavier, your mind quieter, your breath slower, and somewhere in the distance, almost like a dream already, you can still feel the memory of golden letters glowing softly. Tiny stars in the darkness, guiding you gently deeper and deeper toward rest. Let the darkness feel soft, not empty, not heavy, just gentle, like warm water around you, like thick blankets tucked close, like the quiet behind closed eyelids. Your breathing is slow now, so slow it almost disappears. In, out, barely a whisper. Your body feels distant, loose, weightless and heavy at the same time. That pleasant floating feeling, where the edges of you blur into the bed, into the air, into the night. Good. Stay there. The scriptorium rests in complete stillness. No candles now, no fire. Only moonlight painting faint silver lines across the stone floor. Through the tall, narrow window, the stars watch quietly, distant, timeless, unhurried. Just like everything here, the desks sit empty, chairs pushed in neatly, brushes cleaned and laid side by side, gold sealed in its tiny jar, covered, protected, sleeping. Even objects seem to rest at night, wood cooling, stone breathing, paper settling softly, as if the whole room has exhaled and decided to sleep until morning. The manuscripts lie stacked beneath linen, pages filled with careful letters, curves of ink, tiny stars of gold, all hidden now, dreaming their paper dreams, waiting patiently for dawn. There is something deeply peaceful about a finished day. Nothing left undone, nothing expected, just completion, just rest. And your mind begins to copy that feeling, that sense that everything is already enough. You've done enough, thought enough, carried enough. Now there is nothing to hold, nothing to solve, only sleep. Only gentle drifting. Somewhere down the corridor, the monk walks slowly toward his small chamber, his footsteps soft, measured, shuff, pause, shuff, each step like the ticking of a slow, sleepy clock. He carries no lantern now. He doesn't need one. The abbey is familiar. Known by heart, he could walk it with his eyes closed, just like you could find your pillow in the dark, just like your body knows how to sleep without thinking. Muscle memory, quiet memory, ancient and natural. He passes tall arches, cold stone pillars, small windows glowing faintly with moonlight. His shadow glides beside him, long and soft, like a quiet companion. The air in the hallway is cooler, fresh, calm. He breathes it in deeply, then out, a slow sigh, the kind of sigh that empties the whole day from your chest, releasing everything. And you might feel that too, a soft inner sigh, letting go of every leftover thought, every leftover worry, just letting them slide away, like pebbles rolling down a hill, gone, far away, forgotten. The monk reaches his chamber door. Simple wood, worn smooth by years of touch. He opens it gently. Inside is a small room, bare, peaceful, a narrow bed, a folded wool blanket, a tiny wooden table. Nothing more, nothing needed. Moonlight spills across the floor like water, cool and silver, quiet and soft. He sits on the edge of the bed, removing his sandals slowly, placing them side by side, neat, orderly, calm, every movement unhurried, as though even time is sleepy now. He lies back, the blanket pulled up to his chest, hands resting over his heart, eyes closing naturally. No struggle, no tossing, just rest. Because when the day has been slow and gentle, sleep comes easily, like a friend, like something waiting patiently all along. And somewhere, far away, it feels like you are lying down too, in your own safe place, your own warm bed, your own quiet darkness, mirroring him, breathing slow, body heavy, mind soft. The abbey sleeps, the valley sleeps, the stars drift silently overhead, and the golden letters inside the scriptorium glow faintly in memory, like distant fireflies, like tiny suns, like warm lights guiding you gently inward, downward, into dreams. Everything slower now, even the words, slower, softer, further apart, like footsteps fading into sand. Nothing left to follow, nothing left to do, only drifting, only sinking, only the quiet comfort of sleep wrapping around you, layer by layer, breath by breath, until you are floating somewhere deep and peaceful, where the monk sleeps, where the abbey rests, where the gold still glows softly in the dark. And everything, let yourself drift even deeper now, deeper than before, as though you are slowly sinking into the softest bed of moss. Cool, gentle, perfectly shaped for you, your arms heavy, your legs warm and loose, your face smooth and relaxed. Nothing to hold, nothing to remember, nothing to plan. Just this soft floating, just this quiet, just this calm voice guiding you gently. The abbey has fully surrendered tonight, every corridor empty, every door closed, every candle dark, stone walls holding the last traces of warmth like a memory, like the fading glow of sunset long after the sun has gone. Outside, the sky stretches wide and endless, painted deep blue and scattered with stars. They shimmer faintly, tiny points of light, steady and slow, like breaths in the distance. Clouds drift lazily past, so slow they almost seem still, like thoughts that no longer hurry, like dreams forming quietly at the edge of sleep. The valley below rests beneath a silver mist, fields soft and pale, trees standing like dark silhouettes, everything hushed, everything waiting for morning. But morning feels very far away now. So far it doesn't matter. Right now, there is only night, only stillness, only rest. In his small chamber, the monk lies peacefully, blanket rising and falling with each breath. Slow, even, untroubled, his hands still folded gently over his chest, fingers relaxed, loose, as though even his dreams are calm. There is no tension in his face, no worry in his brow, just quiet contentment, the kind that comes from a simple day, careful work, soft light, steady breathing, a life lived slowly. And somehow, just imagining that stillness spreads into you too, your own breath smoothing out, your heartbeat slowing, your thoughts thinning, like fog dissolving in morning sun, but softer, sleepier, heavier. The wooden beams above him creak softly, old wood adjusting to the cool night air. Tick, pause, tick. Small sounds, gentle sounds, the kind that remind you that the world is alive, but resting, like a giant sleeping creature breathing quietly. The blanket brushes faintly against the mattress, fabric against fabric. Soft, 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 everything wrapped in softness now. Even the air feels thick and warm, like velvet, like warm milk, like something comforting and ancient. If you listen closely, you can almost hear the abbey breathing, stone cooling, wood settling, wind brushing faintly against the outer walls, a low, endless hush, like the ocean very far away, like the sound you hear when you press your ear to a pillow. Steady, soothing, safe. Your mind begins drifting further from words, further from images, everything becoming abstract. Gentle shapes, warm colors, gold, amber, deep blue, soft black. Colors blending together like watercolor in water. Nothing sharp, nothing defined, just softness. Just flow, just rest. Back in the scriptorium, the covered manuscripts sit quietly beneath their linen cloth. And if you imagine closely, you might picture the gold letters underneath, still faintly glowing, not bright, just warm, like embers under ash, like fireflies resting with folded wings, tiny lights, waiting patiently. Even light needs rest. Even gold sleeps, and somehow, that idea feels comforting, that everything rests, everything pauses, everything is allowed to be still, including you, especially you. Your body feels heavier now, so heavy it almost disappears, as if you're melting gently into the bed, as if gravity has wrapped you in its arms, holding you safely, your thoughts slower, further apart, long stretches of nothing between them, soft blank spaces, like fresh parchment before the ink, like quiet snow covering the earth, empty, peaceful, perfect. And in those blank spaces, sleep grows naturally, like grass, like dawn light, like something that doesn't need effort, only permission. So give yourself permission now to stop thinking, to stop listening, to stop holding anything at all. Just drift. Drift like candle smoke rising. Drift like clouds across the moon. Drift like the monks slow breathing in the dark. Further, softer, deeper, until the story itself feels far away, until the abbey feels like a dream, until even my voice becomes just another soft sound, blending into the quiet, guiding you gently, all the way into sleep. Let the quiet carry you now like a slow river, like a cradle rocking gently. There is no effort here, no trying. Sleep doesn't need effort. It simply arrives, softly, naturally, the way night arrives, the way candlelight fades, the way a page turns with a whisper. Just let it happen, breathing slow, deep, easy. The Abbey dreams. Not in pictures, not in stories, but in stillness. Stone dreaming its ancient quiet dreams, wood dreaming of forests long ago, iron dreaming of earth and fire, everything resting in its own way. The halls are cool now, moonlight thin and pale along the floors, like milk spilled across the stone. Soft, silver, calm. If you could walk those corridors now, your footsteps would sound like whispers, barely there because even echoes are sleeping. Doors closed gently, candles long extinguished, books resting like folded birds on their shelves, nothing asking for attention. Nothing needing to be done, just peace, deep and complete peace. And somewhere in that peace, the monk sleeps, blanket tucked around his shoulders, breathing slow and steady, in, out, in, out. So steady it almost feels like the whole building is breathing with him, like the abbey itself rises and falls with every breath, like the valley rises and falls, like you rise and fall. Everything connected by that same quiet rhythm, your chest lifting gently, lowering gently, slower than before, softer than before, as though the air itself has become thick with calm. Your arms heavy, fingers warm and loose, your legs sinking deeper, deeper, as if gravity has grown kinder, holding you carefully, like a mother holding a sleeping child. Your mind is so quiet now, it barely forms thoughts, only sensations, warmth, softness, darkness, safety. Maybe you imagine the manuscript pages again, resting beneath their linen cloth, gold letters hidden inside the dark room. And even though no one sees them, they still glow softly. A quiet glow, a patient glow, like stars behind clouds. They don't rush, they don't flicker wildly. They simply exist, steady, calm, endless, just like sleep. Sleep doesn't rush, it waits. And then it gently wraps around you, layer by layer, like blankets, like falling snow, like warm evening light settling over hills. Somewhere far outside the abbey, a breeze moves through the grass. Soft, slow, a faint shh sound, like the turning of a page, like a whisper saying, "Rest now, rest now, rest now." And your body listens. Of course, it listens, because your body has always known how to sleep, long before worries, long before schedules, long before thinking. Sleep is ancient, natural, simple, just like the monk's life, just like his slow brushstrokes, just like gold laid carefully onto parchment. Everything slow, everything gentle, everything enough. No rushing, no noise, no pressure. Just breath, just warmth, just quiet. The stars outside drift slowly across the sky. If you watched them long enough, you would see how slowly they move. So slowly you almost can't tell. That's how your thoughts move now. So slow they barely exist. Long spaces between them, soft darkness between them, comfortable darkness. The kind that feels safe to fall into, the kind that feels like home. Your eyelids heavy now, so heavy they might not even open if you tried. And there's no reason to try, nothing to see, nothing to do, only rest. Only dreams forming gently like mist over water. The monk turns slightly in his sleep, blanket rustling softly. A tiny sound, then stillness again. Even dreams are quiet here, golden, warm, peaceful. And maybe, somewhere in his dreams, he is still painting, still brushing soft gold onto parchment, still working by candlelight, slow, careful, loving strokes. Each one glowing, each one calm, each one a small star in the darkness, and those golden lights drift toward you now, tiny, warm, floating, like fireflies, like embers, like gentle thoughts made of light. They surround you softly, not bright, just warm, guiding you, comforting you, carrying you, further down, further in, further into that deep, peaceful place where sleep lives, where nothing hurts, where nothing rushes, where everything is slow and kind, and you let go completely now. Completely. Drifting, floating, sinking into the soft dark, into the warm quiet, into sleep. Shh! Just rest. There's nothing more to follow closely now. The story has become like a distant lantern. Soft, blurry, warm. You don't have to listen to every word. You can simply float. Let the sound carry you, like wind through tall grass, like water moving slowly around smooth stones. Your breathing is slow, even slower now, gentle, automatic. Your body completely supported, completely safe. The night stretches long and endless around the abbey, a deep blue ocean of quiet, everything submerged in stillness. The stars overhead shimmer faintly, like tiny grains of gold dust scattered across velvet. Soft light, soft distance, nothing sharp, nothing demanding, just presence, just calm inside the stone walls, The air has cooled into that perfect sleeping temperature. Fresh, clean, barely moving, like the inside of a cave, like the hush of snowfall. If you were standing there, you might see your breath faintly in the moonlight, slow clouds forming, then fading, just like thoughts, forming, then fading, nothing staying long enough to matter. The monk sleeps deeply now, more deeply than before, his breathing long and steady, arms heavy at his sides, fingers relaxed, no dreams troubling him, only quiet, only darkness, only rest, the kind of sleep earned by slow days, by simple work, by candlelight and patience. His heart beats softly, a gentle rhythm, lub, dub, pause, lub, dub, slow, calm, like a drum very far away, and if you listen, you might notice your own heartbeat slowing too, matching that same gentle pace, everything syncing together, breath, heart, stillness, all moving like one slow tide. Back in the scriptorium, dust motes drift lazily through moonbeams, floating, turning, falling, like tiny feathers, like snow, like time itself slowing down. The covered manuscripts rest untouched, and beneath the linen, the gold letters sleep. They no longer shine brightly, they glow faintly, warm, soft, like embers under ash, like the last light behind closed eyelids, just enough to feel comforting, just enough to feel safe. And somehow, that gentle glow feels closer now, as though it lives not just on the pages, but inside you too. A small, warm light in your chest, slow, steady, calm. Nothing can disturb it. Not noise, not thought, not memory. It simply glows, quietly, patiently, like the monk's careful work, like this peaceful night, like sleep itself. The abbey roof creaks once in the cool air, a long wooden sigh. Then silence returns. Even the building seems to be sleeping deeply now, resting its old bones, dreaming its old stone dreams. The valley outside lies under a thin silver mist, fields smooth and pale, trees dark and gentle shapes, a small stream winding quietly through grass, barely moving, barely making sound, just a soft trickle, like someone whispering far away, like pages turning in the dark, like the faintest lullaby. Everything in the world seems wrapped in cotton, soft edges, soft sounds, soft time. And you are wrapped too, wrapped in blankets, wrapped in warmth, wrapped in this slow drifting feeling. Your thoughts now almost gone. So faint they're like shadows of shadows. Nothing to hold on to, nothing to follow, just softness, just sinking. Your arms feel heavier than ever, as if they're made of warm sand, your legs loose and still, your face relaxed, even your forehead smooth and quiet. No effort, no tension, only rest. If a thought appears, it floats by like a cloud and disappears before you even notice. Nothing stays. Everything melts. Everything fades gently into sleep. The monk turns slightly again. The blanket rustles, a small, sleepy sound. Then stillness returns. His breath deepens, slower, longer, as though he has sunk into the very center of the night. And you follow him there, down into that same soft place where the world disappears, where time disappears, where only warmth remains, only calm, only the faint memory of golden light, like distant stars, like tiny lanterns guiding you home. Further down, further in, drifting, sinking, floating through darkness that feels safe and endless, until even the story begins to fade. Even my voice becomes softer, further away, like someone whispering from another room. And sleep comes closer, closer, wrapping around you completely now, like the monk's wool blanket, like the quiet stone walls of the abbey, like the warm glow of golden candlelight. Safe. Still. At peace. It's all right now. You don't have to follow the story anymore. Not really. Just let the sound of it wash over you. Like rain on a distant roof, like wind through trees, like a lullaby you barely remember from long ago. Soft, familiar, safe. Your breathing is so gentle now, so slow. It feels like you're floating between breaths, suspended, drifting, your body heavy and warm, as though you've melted perfectly into the place beneath you, held, supported, completely at ease. The abbey remains wrapped in night's embrace, stone walls cool and steady, arches standing like quiet guardians, watching over the sleeping halls. Moonlight barely reaches inside now, only the faintest silver glow tracing the edges of windows. Like frost, like memory, like something delicate that disappears if you look too closely. Everything is softer here. Edges blurred, shapes rounded. Nothing sharp enough to wake you, nothing loud enough to disturb you. Only calm, endless calm. Somewhere far off, beyond the hills, beyond the fields, a night breeze moves slowly through tall grass. A low, steady shh, like the sound of breath passing through lips, like the turning of thin pages, like the brush of gold across parchment. The same sound, again and again, repetitive, hypnotic, comforting. Your mind begins to follow that sound, like footsteps following a path, like a boat following the current. No steering, no effort, just drifting where it carries you, and it carries you deeper, deeper into rest, deeper into stillness. Back in the monk's small chamber, the air is warm beneath the blanket. Cool above it, layers of comfort surrounding him. His breathing steady, even slower now, so slow it almost disappears. In, long pause, out, long pause, each breath like a tide rolling in. Then rolling out, gentle, predictable, safe, the kind of rhythm that tells the body, it's okay. You can sleep now. And your own breath begins to mirror it, longer, softer, quieter, until you can barely tell where one breath ends and the next begins, your thoughts thinning even more, like stars fading at dawn, fewer, fainter, further apart, long spaces of nothing, peaceful nothing, comfortable nothing, the kind of emptiness that feels full of rest. If you imagine the scriptorium again, you might see it now only as shadows. Desks resting quietly, shelves still, manuscripts sleeping beneath linen, and beneath that cloth, the gold letters remain, holding their warmth, holding their tiny glow, patient, silent, like embers beneath ash. They don't need light to exist. They don't need eyes to be seen. They simply are, calm, steady, like the small warm place inside your chest, that place of quiet safety, that place where nothing can reach you, nothing can rush you, nothing can disturb you. Only warmth, only darkness, only rest. The abbey wood creaks faintly again, a sleepy sound, like an old house settling into its mattress. Even buildings sleep, even stone dreams. Everything in this world knows how to rest. Birds tucked into trees, animals curled into nests, wind slowing to almost nothing. Even the stars seem still, and you belong to that same rhythm, that same ancient pattern. Rest when it's dark. Breathe slow, let go, sleep. Your hands feel so heavy now, as if they've sunk into warm sand, your legs motionless, your shoulders loose and soft, your jaw relaxed, tongue resting quietly. Nothing held, nothing clenched, everything open. everything calm. If a sound appears far away, it only makes you sink deeper. If a thought appears, it dissolves like mist. Nothing stays long enough to matter, because sleep is closer now, so close you're already halfway there, like standing at the edge of warm water, toes touching, then ankles, then knees, until you're floating effortlessly, weightless, carried. The monk sleeps deeply, the abbey sleeps deeply, the valley sleeps deeply, and you drift with them, all of you wrapped in the same soft darkness, the same slow breath, the same gentle peace. And the last thing you might notice, like a distant memory, is the faint golden glow of those letters. Tiny suns, tiny stars, guiding you quietly, not forward, not anywhere, just inward, downward, into that warm, endless place, where dreams begin, where thoughts stop, where everything is safe and everything is still. Just breathe, slowly, softly. Nothing else matters now. Not the day behind you, not tomorrow waiting far away. Only this gentle moment, this quiet space, this slow drifting feeling, like floating on calm water at night, the surface smooth as glass, the sky wide and endless above. No waves, no wind, only stillness. You don't even need to listen closely anymore. My voice can simply be a distant murmur, like the hum of a hearth, like leaves brushing together outside a window. Steady, soft, comforting. The night deepens around the abbey, that rich velvety hour when everything feels suspended, when time stretches thin, when the world seems to forget itself. Even the moon has drifted lower now, its light faint and pale, barely touching the stone, barely touching the trees, just enough to paint everything in silver shadows. Long, gentle, dreamlike shadows. If you walked through the courtyard now, your footsteps would sound like feathers falling, soft, unimportant, as though the earth itself wished not to be disturbed. The old well stands quietly, water dark and perfectly still, reflecting a small circle of stars above, not rippling, not moving, just resting, like your mind. No ripples of thought, no disturbances, only smooth darkness, peaceful and deep. Inside the monk's chamber, the blanket rises and falls with each breath, slow as tides, slow as seasons. There's something ancient in that rhythm, something older than language, older than memory, a rhythm the body has always known. Sleep, rest, recover, return. His hands are warm against the wool, fingers slightly curled, dreamless, weightless, and somehow you feel yourself mirroring him, your hands loose, your body sinking further, further, like warm sand slowly covering you, like blankets layered gently one by one, safe, held, completely supported. No muscles working, no effort anywhere. Even your eyes feel heavy behind your eyelids, soft, floating, as though they've drifted far away. And you're just resting in darkness now. Comfortable darkness, like being underwater, but warm, but safe. Sound muted, movement slow. Everything softened. Back in the scriptorium, the faint scent of parchment still lingers. Dry paper, old wood, a trace of beeswax from candles long extinguished. If you imagine that scent, it feels grounding, calm, like libraries, like quiet mornings, like forgotten afternoons where nothing was expected of you. Only stillness, only presence. The covered manuscripts wait patiently. They are in no hurry to be opened, no hurry to shine. They understand time differently. Years pass like breaths, decades like days. There is always tomorrow, always another sunrise. So they rest, just as you rest. Nothing needed right now, nothing unfinished that cannot wait. The gold leaf beneath the linen cools slowly, holding the memory of warmth, holding the memory of light, like the last embers in a hearth after midnight. Still glowing faintly, still comforting, even in darkness. And maybe you begin to feel that same faint glow inside yourself. A small, warm center right in your chest, steady, unmoving. A quiet light that never goes out, even when the world sleeps, even when thoughts disappear. It stays, calm, constant, safe, and you drift closer to it, as though sinking into that warmth, as though resting inside it, like curling up beside a fire on a cold night. The wind outside slows even more. Barely moving now, only the faintest whisper through grass. Like someone turning pages very slowly. 1, pause. 2, pause. 3. The spaces between sounds growing longer, longer, until there's almost nothing at all. Silence becoming the loudest thing. And that silence feels good. It feels soft. It feels protective, like thick snow absorbing every noise. Like the world wrapped in cotton, your thoughts nearly gone now. Just empty sky, wide and open. Occasionally something drifts by, a half-formed image, a soft memory, then gone again. Nothing to hold, nothing to follow. Just drifting, drifting, drifting. The monk sleeps. The abbey sleeps. The hills sleep. The stars above move slowly across the sky, unnoticed, unhurried, and you move with them, carried gently through the night, through deeper and deeper layers of rest, until the story itself feels far away, like something you once heard long ago. And all that remains is this feeling, warm, heavy, safe, sleep wrapping around you completely now, like stone walls, like wool blankets, like golden light fading softly into darkness. Nothing left to do, nowhere left to go. Only rest, only dreams, only peace. Let yourself drift even further now, further than listening, further than thinking, as if you are floating somewhere between waking and dreaming. That soft middle place, where everything blurs, where words become warmth instead of meaning, where sound becomes a gentle tide. In, out, your breath moving like the sea at night, slow, dark, endless, and safe. Very safe. The abbey has fallen into its deepest hour of sleep. That hour before dawn, when even time seems to pause, when the world holds its breath. Stone corridors lie wrapped in shadow, cold and smooth and quiet, like ancient caves, like the inside of the earth. Every door closed softly, every candle reduced to a faint curl of smoke long vanished. Nothing left but darkness and peace. The kind of peace that feels thick, like velvet, like deep water, like something you could sink into forever. If you imagine standing in the center of the courtyard now, you might look up and see the sky wider than ever, filled with countless stars. Tiny gold points scattered across black silk, so many they blur together. A soft, shimmering field, like powdered gold dusted across parchment. Just like the monk's work. Just like the letters he paints. The sky itself illuminated. Slowly, patiently, endlessly. And as you gaze at those distant golden lights, your eyes grow heavier, heavier, as if the stars themselves are gently pulling your eyelids closed, like small magnets of sleep, drawing you inward, drawing you down, until everything behind your eyes becomes warm darkness. Back inside, the monk remains perfectly still, breathing soft, breathing slow, so slow now it's almost invisible. If you placed your hand near his chest, you might barely feel the rise, the fall, rise, fall, like a sleeping child, like someone completely safe, No dreams disturbing him. No worries reaching him. Only rest, pure and complete. And your body copies that stillness naturally, without effort, without trying. Your shoulders loosen even more. If that's possible, your jaw unclenches, your tongue resting heavy and quiet. Even your fingers feel like they've melted into the surface beneath you. Warm wax, soft sand, weightless and heavy at the same time. So comfortable, so still. The scriptorium is darker now than ever before. No moonlight reaches the desks. No shadows move. Everything swallowed in gentle blackness. And under the folded linen, the manuscripts sleep too. Pages resting. Ink dry. Gold settled. No shining now, no glowing. Just quiet presence. Like seeds beneath soil. Waiting. Resting. Trusting time. Nothing rushes underground. Nothing hurries in the dark. Growth happens slowly, silently, just like sleep. Sleep grows slowly inside you too, spreading gently from your chest, down your arms, down your legs, up into your neck, across your forehead, like warm water filling every space, every muscle softening, every nerve calming, everything slowing down together. You might notice the tiny sounds around you fading, the world pulling further away, as though you're wrapped in thick blankets of quiet. Even my voice now, softer, further, like I'm speaking from the other side of a long hallway, or from behind a closed door, still there, but distant, unimportant, easy to let go of. Because you don't need the story anymore. You don't need the monk. You don't need the abbey. They've already done their work. They've already guided you here. Now it's just you. And this deep, endless, comfortable dark, like floating in warm water, like resting in clouds, like drifting through space, surrounded by soft stars. Nothing to hold on to, nothing to think about, just drifting, slowly turning, weightless, safe. The wind outside has completely stopped. Trees unmoving, grass still. Even the stream quiet now, its surface smooth as glass, the entire world resting at once, as if everything agreed, this is the time for sleep. And you belong to that agreement. Your body knows. Your mind knows. It's okay to let go completely, so you sink just a little more, just a little deeper, into that soft place where dreams begin forming like mist, where thoughts dissolve into color and warmth, where time disappears entirely, and somewhere far away, like a memory fading at sunrise, the faintest image remains, a monk at his desk, brushing gold onto parchment, slow, careful, loving strokes, each one glowing softly. Then even that fades, like a candle gently blown out, leaving only darkness, only warmth, only sleep. Settle even deeper now. There's nothing to hold, nothing to follow, nothing you need to remember. Just this soft drifting, like being carried in warm water, like being rocked in a quiet cradle. Back and forth, slow, rhythmic, safe. Your breathing barely noticeable, so light, so gentle, it feels as though the air is breathing you. Instead of you breathing it, effortless, automatic, peaceful. The night has reached its most silent point, the hour monks sometimes called the great hush, when even thoughts seem too loud, when the world feels paused between heartbeats. The abbey rests in that hush now. Thick stone walls holding centuries of quiet. Ancient beams settled into stillness. Floors cool and undisturbed. If a single grain of dust fell, it might sound like thunder. That's how deep the silence is. But nothing falls. Nothing moves. Everything surrendered to rest. Even the stars seem slower now, their glow softer, like tired eyes half closed. The sky no longer sharp or glittering, but blurred and velvety, as if the heavens themselves are growing sleepy, and you feel that same softness spreading through you. Your mind no longer sharp, no clear edges, no defined thoughts. Everything blurred at the edges, warm, gentle, like colors melting into one another, like watercolor soaking into paper. If a thought appears, it doesn't stay long enough to form words. It simply dissolves, melts away, gone before you notice, because you are drifting far below the surface now. Down where everything is slow, down where nothing needs language, down where only feeling remains, warmth, safety, stillness. The monk sleeps on, his small room filled with quiet darkness, the blanket wrapped around him like a cocoon. Protective, soft, ancient wool smelling faintly of clean air and sun, his breath a whisper. In, pause. Out, longer pause. So slow it seems like time itself stretches between breaths, and somehow your breath matches his exactly, without trying, without effort, as though the whole world shares one single breath tonight. The abbey breathes, the hills breathe, the trees breathe. You breathe, all together, slow, deep, endless. In the scriptorium, the desks sit like patient old friends. Ink jars closed, quills resting, chairs pushed in neatly, waiting for morning. But morning feels impossibly far away now. So far, it doesn't matter. Only the night exists. Only this moment. Under the linen cloths, the manuscripts lie still. Pages flat, gold leaf settled, cool to the touch. Yet if you imagined lifting that cloth very gently, very slowly, you might still see the faintest memory of shine. Not bright, not dazzling, just a soft warmth, like moonlight on water, like the last ember in a fireplace, like the glow you see when your eyes are closed tightly. That gentle glow feels like it belongs to you now, as if it has moved from the page into your chest. A tiny lantern inside you. Steady, unmoving, comforting. It doesn't flicker. It doesn't fade. It simply exists. A quiet reminder. You are safe. You are resting. Nothing is required of you. Nothing at all. Your body grows heavier still, so heavy it almost feels like floating. That strange, lovely heaviness where you can't tell where your body ends. And the bed begins, where everything blends together. Warmth and fabric and breath and darkness, all one soft thing. Your arms drift deeper, your legs sink, your face smooth, forehead cool and relaxed. Even your thoughts now are like distant clouds you can't quite see, so far away, so small, meaningless. Sleep has wrapped around you completely now, layer after layer, like blankets, like snowfall, like night itself folding over the world. If someone whispered your name from far away, you wouldn't answer, because you're already too deep, too comfortable, too peaceful, and that's exactly where you're meant to be. The monk dreams faintly now, not pictures, not stories, just warmth, just light, as though he floats inside golden sunlight, and you float too, drifting beside him, through darkness that feels soft as silk, through silence that hums like a lullaby, further, further, until even this voice begins to fade, words stretching thinner, longer pauses between them, like footsteps disappearing down a quiet corridor, slower, softer, more distant, until there is almost nothing left to hear, nothing left to follow. Only sleep, deep, endless, gentle sleep. Easy now, so easy, as though you've slipped beneath the surface of a calm lake, warm water all around you, holding you, carrying you, nothing sharp, nothing sudden, only slow, gentle drifting. You don't even need to listen anymore. The words can blur, they can fade. They're only here like soft lanterns along a path you've already walked. You already know the way down, the way inward, the way to sleep. The abbey is almost weightless in this hour, as if the heavy stones have forgotten their weight, as if centuries of history have gone quiet. Even gravity feels softer here, gentler, like the whole building is floating in the dark. Clouds drift slowly across the sky now, covering the stars one by one. Not quickly, not dramatically, just a slow dimming, a curtain being drawn, light fading to velvet grey, then deeper, then darker, and the darkness feels kind, like a thick blanket tucked carefully around the world. The courtyard fountain has gone still. Not a ripple, not a drop, just a mirror of shadow. If you stared into it long enough, you might forget which way is up. Sky and water blending together, just like waking and dreaming blend together now. Just like you are blending into sleep. Inside the monk's chamber, the air is warm with the quiet scent of wool and old wood. Comforting smells, grounding smells, simple, nothing complicated, nothing sharp. Just the smell of a place that has always been safe. The monk hasn't moved in a long time. His body completely surrendered to rest. Breath soft as silk, slow as drifting snow. He looks as though he could sleep for 100 years, and nothing would disturb him. Not storms, not bells, not morning light. Because when sleep is this deep, it becomes its own world. A world without clocks, without worries, without edges. And you've entered that world too. You can feel it. That strange, lovely distance. As though your body is far away, as though you're floating just above yourself. Warm, loose, heavy and light at the same time. Your hands barely there, your legs forgotten, your thoughts like tiny sparks that flicker once, then disappear forever. No effort to think, no desire to move, just drifting, drifting, drifting. In the scriptorium, even memory seems to sleep. The desks no longer feel like desks. The books no longer feel like books. Everything has softened into shapes of shadow, like mountains far away in fog. And beneath the folded linens, the illuminated pages rest. Gold letters quiet now. No shine, no sparkle, only presence, like seeds planted in earth, waiting patiently, resting deeply. Gold doesn't rush. It doesn't hurry to glow. It simply waits for light. And right now, light isn't needed, because darkness is doing its work. Darkness is where rest happens, where healing happens, where minds grow still. And your mind is still now, so wonderfully still. If a thought tries to rise, it sinks back down immediately, like a pebble dropped into deep water, gone without a trace. Your breath even slower now. Long pauses between each inhale, longer pauses between each exhale. So slow, it almost feels like you're not breathing at all. Just floating, just existing, effortless. Time dissolves here. There is no next moment, no previous moment. Only this soft, endless now, like being wrapped in warm night air, like lying in tall grass under stars, like being held in someone's arms when you are very small and very safe. That same feeling, that same trust. Nothing can reach you here. Nothing needs you. You are completely free to rest, completely free to let go. Outside, the last breeze fades completely. Leaves stop moving. Grass stands still. The whole valley frozen in peace, as though the world itself has fallen asleep beside you. The monk, the abbey, the hills, the sky, all sleeping, all dreaming softly, and you are one more quiet dream among them. Just another gentle breath in the night. Just another small, warm light glowing in the dark. Smaller now, softer now, fading gently like embers, like candlelight at the very end of the wick, like the final brushstroke of gold laid carefully onto parchment. Slow, deliberate, complete. Nothing left to add, nothing left undone. Just rest. Deep, deep sleep, softly now, as though the night itself is whispering. Let everything loosen, every thought untie itself, every muscle melt a little more. There's nowhere to go, nothing to remember, nothing to solve. Only this gentle drifting, like floating on a warm current that already knows the way. You don't have to guide it, you don't have to steer. Just let it carry you, further down, further into rest. The abbey feels farther away now, as if it exists in a dream of a dream, its stone walls blurred, its corridors softened, edges dissolving into darkness. Even the idea of the place grows faint, only the feeling remains. Quiet, shelter, stillness. The great wooden doors sleep in their frames, iron hinges cool and silent, the chapel benches empty and resting. Candles long gone cold, the air thick with peace. If sound existed here, it would be swallowed instantly, like a snowflake touching warm skin. Gone before it mattered, the world has become gentle, completely gentle, and your body follows that gentleness. Your shoulders drop another inch, your arms sink deeper, your hands warm and heavy like smooth stones resting in sand. Even your heartbeat feels slower, quieter, a distant drum fading across hills. Lub, dub, long pause. Lub, dub, each beat softer than the last. Not fading away, just settling, like everything else. Settling into perfect calm. The monk is deep within sleep now, so deep he no longer turns, no longer stirs. His dreams like slow golden clouds drifting across a dark sky. Warm dreams, simple dreams, dreams without stories, only light and warmth. Perhaps he dreams of the manuscripts, of gold leaf catching candlelight, of the slow brush moving across parchment, back and forth, a steady rhythm, like breathing, like waves, like your own thoughts gently brushing across your mind, then smoothing out until the surface is flat and quiet again. You can almost hear it, that soft brushing sound, shh, like silk sliding over paper, like wind in tall grass, like someone tucking blankets around you carefully, each stroke slower than the last, more spaced out, long pauses between. Just like this moment, long pauses, long silences, nothing happening, and somehow that nothing feels so good, so safe. In the scriptorium, time has disappeared entirely. Desks no longer count hours. Pages no longer wait for morning. Everything exists outside of time, and you drift there too, outside of time, where minutes don't matter, where the night could last forever. And that would be perfectly fine, because this place asks nothing of you. No tasks, no thoughts, no effort, only rest. Your mind feels like an open sky now, wide, endless, empty. Not empty in a lonely way, empty in a peaceful way, like a calm lake at dawn, like fresh snow untouched by footprints. If a single thought appears, it melts instantly, like frost touched by sunlight. Gone. Nothing sticks. Nothing lingers. Sleep has wrapped you completely, like layers of soft cloth, like warm water, like deep earth holding a seed safely underground. Protected, hidden, growing quietly. You're breathing so shallow now, so soft you barely feel it. Just a faint movement, a whisper of air. In, out, then nothing for a long time. Floating, weightless, safe. Even this voice feels far away, like someone speaking from the other side of a dream. Words slower now, further apart, drifting like leaves on still water. The monk, the abbey, the gold, all becoming softer, more distant, like memories from long ago. Fading photographs, gentle impressions, until they are no longer pictures, only feelings. Warmth, calm, stillness, and even those feelings begin to dissolve, like mist lifting at sunrise, like candle smoke disappearing into air, leaving only darkness. Soft darkness, comfortable darkness, the kind you sink into without fear, the kind that holds you gently, like arms around your shoulders, like a blanket tucked under your chin. Nothing can reach you here. Nothing needs you here. You are completely free. Free to sleep. Free to drift. Free to disappear into dreams. And so you do. Slowly, quietly, completely. Like the last glow of gold fading into night. Now, everything grows even softer. As though the world has been wrapped in layers of velvet. As though every sound has been cushioned, every thought padded, every edge rounded smooth. There's nothing left to hold on to, nothing sharp enough to wake you. Only this deep, gentle, endless quiet, and you are already floating inside it. Weightless, drifting like a feather in warm air, like a small boat on still water, carried without effort, carried without thought, just carried. The abbey feels very far away now, not distant in miles, but distant like memory, like something half remembered from childhood. You know it's there, but you no longer need to see it clearly. Stone walls blur into shadow, hallways dissolve into darkness, doors and windows and candles and desks all melting together into one soft shape, as though the building itself has fallen asleep so deeply it has forgotten its own form. Only stillness remains. Only calm. Even the night sky above it has softened. Clouds have covered the last of the stars. No sparkle, no silver. Just one wide blanket of dark. Warm dark. Safe dark. The kind of dark that feels like closed eyes. Like resting beneath blankets. Like being tucked in and told everything is all right. Because everything is all right. Nothing is happening. Nothing needs to happen. And that is perfect. The monk sleeps without dreams now, so deeply that even dreams have faded. His breath almost silent, his body completely surrendered. No movement, no tension, only pure rest. If you could see him, he would look like a stone statue warmed by blankets. Ancient, peaceful, timeless. And you are just as still, just as quiet. Your body has disappeared into the surface beneath you. You can't quite tell where you end. And the bed begins. Everything blended. Everything one. Your hands no longer feel like hands. Your legs no longer feel like legs. Just warmth. Just heaviness. Just floating. Your thoughts gone. not slowed, not drifting. Gone. Like a lake with no ripples, like a sky with no clouds, like a page with no writing. Blank, soft, perfectly empty. And that emptiness feels wonderful, because there's nothing to carry, nothing to solve, nothing to remember, only rest. Somewhere very faintly, like the last echo of the story, you might imagine the scriptorium one final time. The covered desks, the quiet shelves, the hidden manuscripts, and beneath the linen, those golden letters resting forever in silence. No longer glowing, no longer shining, simply being. Gold doesn't need light to be gold. It just exists. Quiet, patient, timeless. And you are like that now too. Not shining, not striving, not doing, just existing, breathing softly, resting deeply. Enough exactly as you are. The air around you feels thick and warm, like summer night air, like a soft cocoon, holding you in place, protecting you. Nothing can disturb you here. Even sound has given up trying. Even the world has stopped asking anything of you. Everything has agreed. Let them sleep. Let them rest. And so you sink. Just a little more. Just a little deeper. As though the mattress has turned into clouds. As though gravity has turned gentle and kind. Lower, lower. Down into that quiet place where dreams form like slow ripples, where images appear softly, colors blending, memories dissolving. Nothing clear, nothing sharp, only warmth and shadow. Even this voice is fading now, further, softer, like footsteps disappearing down a long corridor, like a candle dimming at the very end, like the monk's final brushstroke of gold placed carefully onto parchment, slow, deliberate, complete. And with that last stroke, the candle goes out. Darkness, warm, endless, safe, and you drift fully into sleep. Rest now completely, as though the night has gathered you into its arms, as though the world itself is rocking you gently, back and forth, slow as breath, slow as tides. Nothing asks anything of you anymore. Nothing expects you. You have done enough. You are enough. Now there is only this soft, endless drifting, like sinking into warm sand, like floating in deep water, like lying beneath thick quilts on a winter night. Safe, held, heavy. The Abbey no longer feels like a place. It feels like a feeling, a memory of stone and candlelight, and quiet footsteps, a memory of warm gold glowing softly on parchment. But even that memory grows faint now, edges dissolving, details fading, as though mist has rolled in and covered everything. Soft grey mist, gentle and kind. If you tried to picture the corridors, they blur. If you tried to picture the monk, he softens into shadow. If you tried to picture the golden letters, they melt into warmth. Nothing sharp remains. Nothing clear enough to wake you. Only impressions. Only comfort. Only calm. The night air is thick and still. So still, it feels almost like water. If you moved your hand through it, it might ripple slowly. That's how quiet everything is. How slow. How peaceful. And your breathing matches that stillness perfectly. Long, soft, deep. Then longer pauses, longer spaces. As if you're floating between breaths. As if each breath is optional, effortless, automatic. Your chest rises like a tide, then falls away again, leaving you weightless, drifting. Your heart slow and steady, not loud, not strong. Just a gentle presence, like a small drum far away. A rhythm that says, safe, safe, safe. Your arms feel miles away now, your legs forgotten. Your body just a warm shape in the dark. No edges, no boundaries. As though you've dissolved into the night itself. As though you and the darkness are the same thing. Back in the scriptorium, time has stopped entirely. Not slowed. Stopped. Desks and books and chairs frozen in perfect rest. Dust settled forever mid-air. The linen cloths over the manuscripts unmoving. And beneath them, the gold. Quiet. Cool. Still. Gold that once caught candlelight. Gold that once shimmered softly. Now simply resting. Because even gold needs darkness. Even beauty needs rest. And you too are allowed to rest. Completely. Without thinking. Without trying. Without listening. My voice now just another distant sound. Like wind beyond a window. Like rain far away. Like the memory of a lullaby you heard as a child. You don't need to follow it. You don't need to understand it. It's only here to remind you. Sleep is safe. Let go. Let go. Let go. Outside, the hills lie under a blanket of night. Trees unmoving. Fields still. The stream no longer even whispers. The whole valley as quiet as a held breath. As though the earth itself has fallen deeply asleep, and you are part of that same earth. Part of that same quiet. Part of that same ancient rhythm. Rest when it's dark. Breathe slow. Dream. That's all. Nothing more. Your thoughts now are too soft to fawn, too slow to rise. Like feathers sinking through water. They never reach the surface. They simply disappear. Everything disappears. Except warmth. Except comfort. Except that gentle floating feeling. And maybe, very faintly, like the last glow of embers, you sense one small golden light inside your chest. Tiny, steady, a quiet lantern. It doesn't shine brightly. It doesn't flicker. It's simply calm, patient, safe, just like the monk's careful work, just like the abbey at night, just like sleep itself. And that little light grows softer, softer, until even it fades, like candlelight closing its eyes, like the final page turning, like the very last brushstroke of gold settling onto parchment, complete, finished. Endles, sleep. Drift now, so gently, so quietly, as though you are nothing but breath, nothing but warmth, nothing but a small peaceful space in the dark. There is no effort here, no doing, no thinking. Even listening feels optional, like a sound heard underwater, soft, muffled, far away. You are already halfway into dreams, already wrapped in sleep's soft embrace. Just let yourself sink the rest of the way. The world has become very simple now. So simple it almost isn't a world anymore. No shapes, no edges, no names, only darkness, only warmth, only stillness. The abbey that once stood tall and solid now feels like a memory dissolving into fog. Stone becomes shadow. Shadow becomes nothing. Hallways stretch and fade. Rooms empty into quiet, until the entire place becomes just a feeling of safety, a feeling of shelter. Nothing more, nothing needed. The monk sleeps deeper than ever, beyond dreams, beyond thoughts, beyond time. His breath so faint it's almost indistinguishable from the air round him, as though he and the room are breathing together, as though there's no separation at all. Blanket, and body, air and chest, night and stone, all one slow rhythm. And you are part of that rhythm too. You can feel it, that slow, endless wave. In, out, long pause. In, out, longer pause. So slow, so soft, like the tide beneath moonlight, like leaves settling on the forest floor. Your body doesn't feel like a body anymore. It feels like warmth, just warmth, a gentle heat spreading outward. Your hands no longer exist. Your feet gone, your shoulders dissolved. Only a soft center remains, floating, cradled, held by the dark. Thoughts no longer visit. They've stopped trying, because there's nowhere for them to land. Your mind is smooth as glass, still as deep water. Nothing ripples, nothing disturbs it. If a memory tries to appear, it melts instantly, like snow touching warm skin. Gone. Everything quiet, everything settled. In the scriptorium, even the idea of work has disappeared. The desks no longer wait. The ink no longer stains. The manuscripts no longer need light. Everything has accepted rest. Even the gold leaf, especially the gold leaf. Gold resting cool and silent beneath linen, not shining, not sparkling, just being. Gold doesn't hurry. Gold doesn't worry. It simply exists. Steady, unchanging, timeless. And you feel timeless now too. No past, no future. Only this endless soft moment, like floating in space, like lying beneath deep ocean water, protected from everything above, protected from noise, protected from thought. Only the slow hum of quiet surrounding you. My voice, softer now, thinner, like mist, like wind through distant trees. You don't need to hold on to it. It can drift away. It can fade completely, because you already know what to do. You already know how to sleep. Your body has always known, from the very beginning. Sleep comes naturally, like night following day, like breath following breath. Nothing to force, nothing to try. Just let go. A little more, a little deeper, as though you're sinking into the softest bed ever made, as though the darkness has turned into feathers, carrying you, rocking you, back and forth, until even movement disappears, until everything becomes perfectly still. Outside, there is no wind, no stars, no sound. The valley wrapped entirely in night, the abbey wrapped entirely in quiet, the monk wrapped entirely in sleep, and you wrapped entirely in dreams, all of you resting together, as one soft, endless silence. And now, even these words grow slower, longer spaces between them, like footsteps fading down a hallway, softer, quieter, further away, until there is almost nothing left, only warmth, only darkness, only the gentle rise and fall of breath. And then, even that fades into deep, dreamless sleep, so quiet now, so very quiet, as if the whole world has exhaled and never breathed back in. You are resting in that exhale, that long, endless pause, where nothing moves, nothing asks, nothing exists except softness. You don't need to follow the story anymore. It's only a distant murmur now, a fading echo, like wind through faraway trees, like the last ember dimming in a hearth. Barely there, barely sound at all. And that's perfect, because you are already asleep in everything but name. There is no abbey now. Not really. It has softened into darkness, stone into shadow, shadow into warmth, warmth into nothing. The halls have disappeared. The doors have disappeared. Even the monk has dissolved into the night. Not gone, just blended, like ink spreading gently into water, until there's no edge between one thing and another. Everything simply merging into calm. And you are merging too. Your body no longer separate from the bed, no longer separate from the air, no longer separate from the dark, just one quiet presence. Floating, drifting, held. If someone asked where your hands were, you wouldn't know. If someone asked where your thoughts were, you wouldn't find any, because everything has softened beyond shape, beyond words, beyond knowing. There is only sensation now. Warm, heavy, safe, like being wrapped in thick blankets on a cold night, like being carried as a child half asleep from one room to another. That same trust, that same surrender. Nothing to do, nothing to control, just letting go completely. Your breathing so faint now, so light. It feels like breathing is happening somewhere far away, like the air is moving on its own. In, soft, out, softer. Long spaces in between. Like waves disappearing into still water. Your heart slow and steady. A quiet glow, not beating loudly, just existing. A gentle pulse of life. Calm, steady, untroubled. If the world ended right now, you wouldn't notice, because you're wrapped too deeply in peace, too safely held. Nothing can reach you here. Nothing needs to. Somewhere, very faintly, like the last thread of the story, you might sense the idea of gold. Not shining, not bright, just warmth. A soft golden warmth behind your closed eyes. Like sunlight through curtains. Like candlelight through sleep. Like the memory of the monk's careful brush. One last stroke. Slow, deliberate, complete. And then even that memory fades. Because sleep doesn't need images. Sleep doesn't need stories. Sleep is just darkness and comfort and quiet. And you are there now. Fully there. Completely there. The world has gone still. So still it feels endless. No wind. No footsteps. No turning pages. No whispered prayers. Only the deep hush of night. The hush that comes just before dreams take over completely. Just before you sink beneath everything. Like drifting down through warm water. Lower, lower, lower. Until light disappears above you. Until sound disappears above you. Until there is nothing left but the soft pressure of calm. And it feels so good, so safe, so perfect. You don't want to move. You don't want to think. You don't want anything at all. Because this quiet nothing, is exactly what you needed. My voice now only a memory. Barely sound. Barely breath. Like someone whispering from the far side of sleep. You don't need to hear it. You don't need to follow it. Let it fade. Let everything fade. Even the fading fades. Until there is only darkness. Only warmth. Only deep, endless rest. And you drift fully, completely into sleep. Nothing to do now. Nothing to follow. Nothing to hear. Just rest. As though you've reached the very bottom of a quiet lake, where the water is warm, where light cannot reach, where everything is slow and gentle and still. You're not sinking anymore, you've already arrived. Floating. Weightless. Safe. Completely safe. The story has almost disappeared, like footprints covered by fresh snow, like mist dissolving at dawn. The abbey is no longer a place. The monk is no longer a figure. The gold is no longer something you see. Everything has become feeling instead of form, warmth instead of light, stillness instead of sound, comfort instead of thought. Even memory grows soft around the edges. If you try to picture the candlelight, it blurs. If you try to picture the parchment, it fades. If you try to picture the monk painting slowly through the night, the image melts into shadow. Because you don't need pictures anymore. You don't need story anymore. Sleep doesn't need images. Sleep only needs quiet. And quiet is everywhere now. Thick, endless, like velvet wrapped around the world. Your body feels like it has dissolved into warmth. No weight, no effort, no edges. Just a gentle heat, like sunlight on skin, like a blanket fresh from the dryer, like being tucked in by careful hands. Your arms gone, your legs gone, your face soft and smooth, even your jaw loose, tongue resting, eyes heavy behind closed lids, so heavy they feel like stone, like they've been closed for hours already, like opening them would be impossible. And there's no reason to try, nothing to see, nothing waiting, only rest. You're breathing barely there now, just the faintest motion, like a sleeping cat, like leaves rising and falling in a breeze too soft to hear. In, pause, out, longer pause, the spaces between breaths stretching wide, like time itself has stretched thin. Minutes feel like hours. Hours feel like moments. Everything blurred. Everything slow. If a thought tries to appear, it never finishes forming. It just drifts away half-made, like a cloud that dissolves before it crosses the sky. Nothing sticks, nothing stays, because your mind has become a wide-open field at night, empty, peaceful, untouched. In that field, there is only one tiny warmth, a faint golden glow. Not bright, not shining, just warm, like embers beneath ash, like the last trace of candlelight. A memory of the monk's careful work, of gold pressed gently onto page, of slow brushstrokes, of patience, of quiet devotion. But even that glow grows softer now, dimmer, not disappearing, just settling, becoming part of the darkness, blending in, until warmth and dark are the same thing, and you are that warmth. You are that dark. There is no difference anymore. Outside the imagined abbey, the hills sleep, the trees sleep, the earth itself sleeps, deep, dreamless, still, and you are sleeping with it, part of it, breathing with it, resting with it, as though the whole world is one single sleeping body, one slow breath shared by everything, and you are that breath, rising, falling, then still. Even this voice is nearly gone now. Words stretched thin, long pauses between them, soft as dust settling, soft as snow landing. You don't need these words anymore. They've done their work. They carried you here, and now they step back quietly, like a candle being covered by a gentle hand, like a door closing without a sound, fading, 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 until there is only darkness, only warmth, only the slow, endless comfort of sleep. And you drift, deeper, 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 into the softest night, into dreamless rest, into perfect peace. Now, there is almost nothing left. Only quiet, only warmth, only the slow, gentle rhythm of rest. You don't need to listen. You don't need to follow. The story has become like a feather drifting away on the wind. Barely there, barely remembered, just a soft presence in the dark. And you are deeper than words now, deeper than thoughts, drifting in that peaceful space between dreaming and nothing at all. Safe. So very safe. There is no abbey anymore, no walls, no doors, no candles, no monk, no parchment. Everything has melted into darkness like snow melting into warm earth, gone without effort, gone without sound. All that remains is a feeling of being held, of being protected, of being allowed to rest completely, the kind of rest you haven't felt in a long time. The kind of rest that reaches your bones, reaches your breath, reaches the very center of you. Your body is only warmth now, just warmth, like a small sun glowing softly. No edges, no shape. Just a gentle floating heat. Your arms don't exist. Your legs don't exist. Even your face feels like air. Soft, loose, completely relaxed. If you tried to move, you wouldn't want to. Movement feels unnecessary, like waking from the sweetest sleep for no reason. So you stay still, perfectly still, and that stillness feels wonderful. You're breathing so slow now, so shallow, it feels like you're floating between breaths for long stretches of time. In, soft, out, softer, then nothing. Just silence. Then another breath arriving on its own. Effortless, automatic, like the tide, like the moon, like something ancient and natural. Your heart, a distant glow, not even a beat anymore, just a presence, calm, steady, safe. The mind has gone quiet completely. No pictures, no memories, no words forming. Only darkness behind your eyes. Warm darkness. Comfortable darkness, like lying under blankets on a rainy night. Like falling asleep in the back seat of a car as a child. Carried without knowing. Protected without trying. Everything taken care of. You don't need to do anything now. Not even sleep. Sleep is already happening, already holding you, already wrapping around you like layers of soft wool. If there were sounds, you wouldn't hear them. If there were lights, you wouldn't see them, because you're too deep, too peaceful, too far inside rest. Somewhere very faintly, like the final echo of the story, you might sense the smallest memory of gold, not shining, not glowing, just warmth. A tiny warmth in the dark. The monk's last brushstroke. The last letter finished. The last page turned. Everything complete. Nothing left undone. That feeling of completion spreads through you. Nothing more to think about. Nothing left to carry. Nothing left to fix. Everything finished. Everything settled. You are allowed to rest now. Completely. The world outside disappears entirely. No sky, no ground, no time, only endless soft night, and you float in it like a cloud, like breath, like a dream that doesn't know it's a dream. Even this voice has almost vanished, just a whisper of a whisper, like air moving through leaves, like memory fading at dawn, words slowing, gaps widening, longer, longer, until there are only pauses. And even the pauses disappear. Nothing left to say, nothing left to guide. Because you are already there, fully asleep, fully safe, fully at peace, drifting deeper, deeper into the softest, warmest darkness, where dreams cradle you gently, where the mind rests completely, where the night holds you forever, and you sleep, and sleep. And there is only quiet now, a deep, endless quiet. So soft it feels like silk, so wide it feels like the sky. You are not listening anymore. You are not following anymore. You are simply resting, floating in warmth, drifting in darkness, held by something gentle and ancient and kind, like night itself has wrapped you in its arms, and nothing can disturb you here. Nothing at all. There is no story left. No place, no person, no abbey, no monk, no candlelight. Everything has dissolved completely. Like salt in water, like mist in sunlight, gone without effort, gone without sound. Only feeling remains. Only rest remains. Only the slow, steady rhythm of sleep. Your body is gone now. Not really there, just warmth, a soft, glowing warmth, as though you are a small ember resting in ash. Comfortable, still, safe from every wind, no weight, no shape, no edges. If someone asked where you were, you wouldn't know, because you are nowhere and everywhere at the same time. Drifting, floating, held in the softest dark, your breath so light now it barely exists, like the faintest ripple on a still lake. In so quiet, out even quieter, then long stretches of nothing, perfect nothing, peaceful nothing, the kind of nothing that feels like home. Even your heartbeat has faded into the background. No sound, no rhythm, just a quiet glow, a gentle presence, as though your whole body has become one slow, warm pulse. And your mind, your beautiful, busy mind, has finally gone completely still. No thoughts rising, no memories playing, no words forming. Just a smooth, endless space, like fresh snow untouched by footprints, like a night sky without stars, like a blank page resting before the first word. But there is no need for words anymore, no need for images, no need for anything at all, because you are already asleep. Deeper than sleep, beyond dreams, beyond time, somewhere far away, so far it almost doesn't exist. There might be the faintest memory of gold. Not light, not shine, just warmth, a soft golden warmth, like sunlight through closed eyelids, like the last ember in a fireplace, like the final touch of the monk's careful hand on parchment, the last brushstroke, the last letter, complete, finished, perfect. Nothing more to add, nothing left undone. That same feeling spreads through you now. Completion, enoughness, peace. You don't need to become anything. You don't need to fix anything. You don't need to think anything. Everything is already okay. Everything always was. The whole world feels like it has gone to sleep beside you. Mountains sleeping, trees sleeping, wind sleeping, water sleeping, the earth itself resting in deep silence. And you are part of that silence, part of that rest, one small, warm breath in the dark. Even this voice has almost disappeared, just the softest murmur, like a blanket being tucked around your shoulders, like a door closing very gently, like someone whispering from far, far away. Rest now. Sleep now. It's okay. And then even that fades. No more words. No more sounds. Only the soft cradle of night. Only the slow drift of dreams. Only endless, peaceful sleep. Shh. There's nothing left now. Nothing to follow. Nothing to understand. Only quiet, deep, gentle quiet, like the moment just before snow begins to fall, like the space between two heartbeats, like the soft dark behind closed eyes. You are already asleep. This is just the softness around sleep, the warmth beneath it, the last slow drift downward, like sinking into the deepest feather bed, like settling into still water that holds you perfectly. No effort, no movement, just rest. Everything has disappeared, even the idea of everything. No abbey, no monk, no gold, no story. Those were only stepping stones, little lanterns to guide you here. And now you don't need them, because you've reached the quiet place, the place beneath thought, beneath memory, beneath dreaming, where nothing has a name, where nothing needs a shape, where only calm exists. It feels like floating in endless night. But it's not dark in a lonely way. It's dark in a comforting way. Like being wrapped in thick blankets, like being held close, like being safe inside a warm room while rain falls softly outside. Protected, always protected. Your body is completely gone now, not heavy, not light, just gone, dissolved into warmth, as if you've melted into the air itself. No arms, no legs, no edges, just a soft presence, a gentle blow. If someone whispered nearby, you wouldn't hear it. If someone moved the air, you wouldn't notice. Because you are too deep, too peaceful, too far inside rest. Your breathing is so slow now, so faint, that it feels like the world is breathing for you. Air flowing in and out on its own, like waves rolling onto shore, like leaves rising and falling in invisible wind. Automatic, effortless, perfect. And your heart, just a quiet warmth. Not a beat, not a sound, just a small, steady light. Calm, steady, safe. Your mind is completely empty now. Not blank in a hollow way, blank in a full way, like a field covered in fresh snow, like a sky just before dawn, like a page that doesn't need writing, because nothing needs to be said. Everything is already understood. Everything is already complete. Time has vanished. There is no before, no after, no next moment. Only this endless softness. This endless now. You could stay here forever, and it would be perfectly fine, because this place asks nothing of you, demands nothing, expects nothing. Only rest, only stillness. If there is any memory left at all, it is only warmth, a faint golden warmth, not light, not shine, just comfort, like sunlight through curtains, like candlelight behind closed eyes, like the quiet devotion of the monk's careful work long ago. But even that fades now, melting into the dark, blending into nothing, until warmth and darkness are the same thing. Until you are the same thing. No separation, no edges, only peace. Even this voice is almost gone, barely there. Just a breath brushing past, just a whisper fading into silence. Long pauses, longer spaces, words slowing, stretching, disappearing, like footsteps fading down an endless hallway, like the last star disappearing at dawn, like the final ember cooling into ash. Nothing left to guide, nothing left to say, because you are already fully asleep, deep, dreamless, perfectly still.